So I'll just click on this eSign document, and similar to this, how it just happened, you can also configure this flow in your agents tab that, on a click of a button, e-signing window opens. So here's my agreement. If you see, this is the stamp agreement, the stamp serial. This is the defaced legend with the unique ID for the stamp and first and second party name. Even on the document, it will have that stamp ID, so you can, just correspond to that stamp later on if you want to. So this is my agreement. This, as you can see, is in Hindi, and if you'll see and just focus here, it says "Aage बढ़े." Legality offers 11 different languages that you can, change this interface to. But once you've sent an agreement in a certain language, we would recommend you stick to that language in the interface, because the uh, it should match whatever language of the agreement is. So we'll proceed. We'll click on "Aage बढ़े." We'll again do Aadhaar eSign via OTP. And if you'll see, even the eSign consent is in a Hindi language. Now, what I'm going to do is, and this is again something that people who, sorry, people who do work with tech teams, they will understand. I'm just going to set my network for this particular browser to 3G. So this means even though I have a good functioning internet connection, in this particular browser, I'm only using 3G. And I'm just gonna show you how e-signing can work even at a slow network area. Okay. So I'll just enter my Aadhaar number here on the protein screen. Just give me a second. By the way, if you want, you can also customize the screen with your own brand and colors. So that's kind of up to you. I'll enter my Aadhaar. Cool. So I've entered my Aadhaar, and once I click on send OTP, it's going to send an OTP. But let's say I've sent this OTP and it doesn't come. There's some error in the ESP screen. Then what happens? So in that case, I can just go back to the legality link, or just reopen it using the agents tab. It's going to take a couple of minutes, because just to remind you, we are working on 3G. It's not a fully functioning internet, but it's much better, right? You would rather have a slow solution than going back to physical paperwork, if the solution allows you to do it digitally, even if in a slow network area. Great. So I'll click on Aage Badhe again. Then I'll click on OTP. I'll give resend consent again. And now just see what it does. So I was in Protean earlier. Now if you'll see, it's taking me to CDSL. And let's say I try doing eSign via CDSL also. What if that also doesn't work? What do you do then? Again, you just go back to your legality link. But I'll just close this because this is hampering the experience. Yeah. So you just again proceed. Now, if you'll see, we attempted OTP based eSign. Because that eSign didn't work with both the backup ESPs. Now, what the borrower can see is, wait, sorry, I'll just switch this language to English, because Hindi is a little harder for me to read. So yeah, you now they get the option. Okay, so OTP didn't work. Now you can attempt via biometric, via face, or via iris, whatever is working for you. And even if, let's say, this doesn't work, none of these options work, and the person has tried all of them. Let's say they've tried biometric, they try biometric, it doesn't work. I know, I'm sorry, this feels like you're going in a loop again and again, but I want to show you that cascading thing of how it works. They try iris, That doesn't work. So you again go back. So you've exhausted all your Aadhaar eSign types. I can't do face authentication because I'm using a Mac and it only works on Android devices, which are the devices most commonly used at branches or by agent. So once all of that is done, and if your team allows, your compliance team allows, you can also give people the option to do an virtual sign. But I'll just do a Aadhaar e-sign to show you how this Aadhaar e-sign is going to work. So they've sent me the OTP after I've entered my Aadhaar number. So we'll verify this OTP and Aadhaar e-sign is done. So yeah, this was first demo. Again, what I showed you was the system working in 2G, 3G, and low network area. I showed you how automatically different ESPs get activated if the e-sign doesn't happen, and similarly how to provide non-Aadhaar backup. If you've exhausted your all attempts of Aadhaar e-sign and tried everything and it still doesn't work, virtual sign can very easily come, and you have to again provide vernacular agreements and interface. So coming to the next demo, what happens if a person tries to use somebody else's Aadhaar? Let's say name on application is Rahul Sharma, and I try to do the same Aadhaar resend using my own Aadhaar, which is Shubhesh Kanodia. So this is my KCC agreement, let's say, which I need to sign. I try to use, I do a OTP based Aadhaar sign. I'll enter my Aadhaar number again. So I've entered my Aadhaar, not Rahul Sharma's because he's an imaginary person. I'm just waiting for the OTP to come. Okay, it's here. So I've entered OTP, and as you can see, the e-sign was rejected because verification details did not match the certificate details. What the system did was it matched my name and my Aadhaar details with which I had e-signed against Rahul Sharma's. And because there was a mismatch, it just blocked that e-sign and the documents will stay unsigned. If you want the correct borrower to e-sign that document again, you can just re-trigger it and they can e-sign. So now coming to the last part of this demo, which is verifying the signer's identity before they can e-sign. Now let's say this person, and obviously I'm not Virat Kohli. What if Virat Kohli applies for a loan and I try to e-sign, and first what we'll do is we'll capture my face, then we'll run a liveliness test on my face during that capture and then match it against the photo, which is this photo, which was collecting during KYC. So this is my KFS. You can fill it with your LOS, LMS. First I'll do is I'll do my GPS capture. If this GPS capture was outside the permitted area, I will get blocked right here on this step. I will not be allowed to proceed further. Now, because it is in the permitted area, next thing we'll do is we'll do a face capture. So I'm gonna just capture my face now. Okay. So as you would have seen, two things happened. When I was capturing my face, the system was giving me some instructions to move closer, hold still. That it was trying to determine whether I was actively present in front of the camera or not, or if somebody had put up my photo in front of the camera. Second thing that happened was this e-sign got blocked. It says error occurred. There is inconsistency between captured face and the identity registered in the system because this was the photo on file collected during KYC, and obviously I do not look like Virat Kohli. So the system recognized that and blocked my e-signing attempt right here.